I'm Jenna, and this is the Ride VXN Women's Binding. This is a great binding for your woman who's more of an advanced beginner rider or more of an intermediate rider. It's a step up from the LXH binding and provides just a little bit more response. So to start, we've got an aluminum frame on this binding, which all ride bindings do. And of course, aluminum provides a little bit more support, it's a little more responsive, and it's also very durable. Now this chassis here is a foundation chassis, so it gives you a little bit more flex, it's a little more forgiving while also still providing that response that's needed. It's also a women's specific chassis, and it's a little bit narrower due to the fact that women's boots are going to be a little bit narrower as well. So we also have a women's specific high back, and this particular high back is the Lux Light. Now the Lux Light is actually a little bit more responsive. It's still fairly flexible, especially up top, but it's a little bit more responsive than the Deluxe high back, which is found on the LX. Now it also comes a little bit lower on the calf than a men's binding would. You also have the balance strap on this, ankle strap. And what this does is really just gives you a very comfortable, forgiving feel. So it provides you the appropriate amount of response, but it isn't too aggressive of a strap that's going to provide too much response. It still gives you that little bit of flex that helps you progress, helps you gain a little bit of confidence. Now next we've got padding that runs underfoot, and it runs completely underfoot instead of just in the toe and the heel. So what this does is it really dampens vibration and really provides a lot of shock dampening throughout the binding itself. Now you've also got the Wedgie 1.5. So if you look real close, the foam on this is actually a little bit thicker towards the outside of the binding. When you're riding with a little bit wider stance, it's really a little bit harder, especially on a rocker board, to get that extra pop, to really get that response and that leverage over the outside of your binding. Now having that thicker material on the outside of your binding gives you that response. It gives you that leverage, allows you to transfer that energy from the outside of your bindings effectively to your board, which gives you more pop, more response, more ollie power, etc. Now next we've got the ultralight ratchets. So these are quick draw, they're super easy to get in and out of, but they're also a little bit lighter weight than some of the ratchets that are found out there. Last we've got convertible toe strap. So you can actually ride with your strap over the top of the boot or over the toe of the boot. Now when you ride with your strap over the toe of your boot and you really crank down, it kind of restricts the blood flow in your toes. It can create a pressure point, make it a little more uncomfortable. Your toes get a little bit colder by cranking it down tight like that. Now instead, if you crank it over the top of your toe of the boot, you can actually draw your boot back into the binding, making it a little bit more responsive and giving you a little bit more comfort. So this is the Ride VXN. Again, great binding for your solid intermediate level rider just looking for a quality all mountain simple binding.